All right, fans, as promised, coming to you from the Eeez N Beez podcast, all the way from Rocky Mountain Pro, it's Baylum Lynx. How's it going, my
Hey,
man?
it's going good, brother. How about you, man?
Hanging in there, enjoying this Friday, getting things going. Glad to have you on. It's been a long time coming, and I think my fans and listeners both could agree that can't wait to hear a little bit about yourself and maybe some other stuff. How about
Hey,
that?
man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. It sounds like a lot of fun. I like what you guys do all the time.
Oh man, well appreciated, well appreciated. All right, like I said, folks, everybody out there, this is Baylum Lynx from Rocky Mountain Pro. We're gonna dive into the meat segment here on the Eeez N Beez. We're gonna ask him some questions and hear what he's got to say. You ready, buddy?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right. So for my listeners and fans out there, Baylum, can you tell them about yourself and how you got your start in wrestling?
Um, I guess it's like everybody else's, man. In wrestling, I feel like just been a fan for a very long time, and always decided to, always wanted to reenact everything in the basement in our backyard or whatever,
Yeah.
and a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but decided to finally take that initial first step and got myself into a wrestling ring with the help of a very good friend of mine and a longtime friend. And once I was in, I never wanted to leave.
Nice, nice. About how long have you been in now?
2 years,
2 years.
2 or 3 years. I think
Two,
it's two. I
3 years.
think
All right.
yeah.
Okay. So fresh, kind of like most of my guests. And as you know, I love to shine the light here on the Eeez N Beez on these guys and girls that are coming up through the ranks. I think they get overseen, and that's why I bring everybody on here. So maybe give them an opportunity to maybe tell a little bit about themselves, and also let everybody out there know who these people are, because there's not enough light shined on you, if you know what I mean.
Hey man, and I very much appreciate everything, dude. Like it's cool, and I like your mentality.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. So tell me this, Baylum. Second question here for you. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Ric Flair and actually Shawn Michaels. I mean,
Uh,
it's kind of. I think that's
Hand
kind
in
of like
hand.
a. I think that's kind of like a. Everybody wants to it's like Shawn Michaels thing, but like Ric Flair, my number one, because like I think I look back at like the larger than life characters, and Ric Flair's always right there all the time.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with actually either one of those guys. Me as a kid, I watched a lot more WCW than WWF, but I liked them both. But yeah, a little bit of similarities in both those characters. So I could see why
Oh,
you like
definitely.
both of those for sure, for sure. All right. Well, we'll change the pace up a little bit on you just here a little bit on the Eeez N Beez. Ask you some breakfast things. If you could eat breakfast, Balaam, with any wrestler or wrestling personality, who would it be and what are you guys having?
Ooh man, honestly, I follow John Cena on Twitter all the time, and that dude is like has like a boatload of wisdom for everything. And yeah, especially now in these crazy times, dude. Like I don't think I can actually get enough of some of that man's knowledge. So I would probably do him. And I mean, I don't know, the dude's huge, so probably really big protein based breakfast. All the eggs we can eat or something.
Definitely, and probably a workout before and after, right?
Probably, yeah. There you go. And hey, I can, oh, I can,
Hey,
I'll take what I can get, man. That dude has everything, knowledge and for
I'm
the
glad you
body and
said.
soul.
I'm glad you said that, Balaam, because that's going to lead right into my next question. Perfect. So check this out. Hollywood just called, and they want to make a movie about you. What's the name of it?
Oh God, that's actually I never asked me that question. Um,
Hey,
I
there's
don't know, dude.
no wrong answers here on the E's and B's. All right.
I don't know, dude. Honestly, like I'd probably call it like I don't know, dude. The come up of the come up of the underdog or something, dude. Because that's
Okay.
just like
Okay.
my whole life has been kind of this card's always been kind of stacked against me, but I never like to quit, and
Sure.
I'm really headstrong. So any of the problems I have, I kind of just go right into. I rush right into it, no matter not really thinking, because I'm more of an action type of person. And I mean, as far as I know, everything's kind of played out to my advantage, which is good. But hard lessons along the way. But I just I learned to never really give up.
Got you, definitely, and I can speak for myself by watching some of the things you've done. Those actions take place in the ring, and I've seen it. So I could definitely agree. The underdog story, there's everybody out there loves the underdog story, no matter what
Yeah,
it is, right?
of course, you
So
know, and that's
I could agree 100%. And that would, catch my eyes for sure, especially being a wrestling fan. But I
of
got
course.
you. All right. So keeping things rolling here on the Eeez N Beez. Let me ask you this, Baylum. If you weren't wrestling, what would you be doing?
So that's a really tough question, dude. Cause I mean, like, I don't know. In the wrestling business, we talk about all the time, like there's life after wrestling.
Sure.
Al Snow preaches it all the time. He's like, you as a wrestler, like it's a part of you. It's not who you are, but it is a part of you.
Yeah.
So like once wrestling becomes who you are and that's all it is, then there's kind of a problem because there is life after wrestling. There's life outside of wrestling, and that's something that I've been struggling with for a while now. Like my whole life, I never really kind of figured out what I wanted to do. But honestly, I was leaning more towards something with teaching, either like in a teaching environment, like actual like school,
Sure.
or just honestly like a drug counselor, because I've had my fair share of things, and I know when I was going through my counseling and all of my stuff, that was like the first time I ever really tried any sort of therapy, and the results were phenomenal. It's really gotten to who I am today. And
Sure.
without it, I probably wouldn't be able to keep my grasp on life. So I can definitely see myself doing something kind of like that, especially since I would rather listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about than somebody that thinks they do, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's like, and it's like a lot of people that were in my groups shared that same mentality that they would rather listen to somebody that knows what they're going through, like what we're going through, because they've experienced it themselves.
Yeah.
Not just somebody that learned all this stuff just from books,
Gotcha. Definitely sounds like you got the mind right and going down the right path as a coaching or something in that life coach, something. I can definitely hear it there. That's a good idea, and I think you got a bright future. So keep doing what you're doing. And this will definitely go down as a teaching point to the kids in your future. I believe it. So.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really do appreciate that.
All right, switching the pace here just a little bit for you, Baylum. What's your go-to breakfast favorite?
Oh, dude, breakfast burritos, dude. Those are I cannot get enough of them. I like them hot, so that way you actually can like while you're eating them, you actually wake up, because that
Gotcha.
spice really kind of gets you up. And I mean, I'm not Latino, dude, so I eat everything with that. So
All right, so
definitely breakfast.
smothered, all that stuff, huh?
Oh, all of it, dude. I'll eat that all day.
Okay, all right, definitely. I'm from the East Coast, moved out here several years ago, about 13 years ago, and green chili was a new thing to me. So
Oh,
once
dude,
I
I can't live without it, man. That's
Oh
so
man,
good.
I know it's hard to
Literally, you
explain
put
to the
that.
people on the East Coast. Yes, for
can
sure.
literally put that on anything, and anything will taste good, dude. You put that on nachos, burritos, like
Breakfast, lunch,
dude.
or dinner. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
dude,
Yeah.
it's always tastes so good.
Right on. Hey, so keeping things rolling. What's your favorite match of all time?
Oh God, that's a tough one too, man. That's a really tough one. Um, I would say just match, just based off of like sheer emotional investment. It has to be the typical answer of the that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels WrestleMania.
Okay.
Is that was like the emotional investment in all of that was like just like you were there the entire time, and it was a great match too. Like they a few high spots here and there, but they those spots meant something. Every action had a purpose, and it was just like storytelling wise. Like to me, it was like phenomenal.
Yeah, the
Like
lead up, the build
not
up, all that to it, and then all the way through. I agree
and
100%.
and like the emotion behind it. Like you can tell that the emotions behind every action that they were doing. Like you were able to see it clearly in their face. Like God, it was painful, or it hurt, or it was a sad moment, or that they were like shocked that it was happy, like everything, and you were able to tell clear as day these emotions on their face.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of things that I try to do with my video study. I watch that one a good amount of times, just so that way, because I want that same sort of emotional investment when I have my matches. Hopefully, one day I'll get there.
Yes, and I think you will, man. And that's awesome that you're doing that video study of stuff, because that's why I like to bring the light, like I said earlier, on you guys, because people don't know that there's a lot more into it than just getting in that ring and tying up with a buddy or another fellow wrestler.
Oh God, there's so much
yeah,
into it, dude. When I first started, I was completely shocked of how things were, and I was like, I knew I knew some things about it, like some of the inside stuff, because it was just like it was interesting to me. So like I knew about contracts or just little things that people don't really think about with wrestling. So I was like, yeah, I think I'd be fine. I think I'll be cool. And then I got in there, and it's just like, whoa.
it's a full plate,
so,
right?
Yeah, and honestly, dude, I was like, this is a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, this is a lot, and it's kind of just all kind of overwhelming. When you start like a new game, and there's like so much to do, you kind of like get overwhelmed. You're like, oh God, that's a lot. Like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. So it was definitely like that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You could even relate it to a job. It's like starting a new job. You're excited to get in there, but when you get in there, like, cool, wait, did I make the right decision here? Definitely.
This was nothing what I thought it was going to be.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, hey, Baylum, as we're winding things down here, I got just a couple more for you, and then I'll turn the floor over to you. If you were entered into the Royal Rumble, what number would you want to be?
That's a tough one. Honestly, I would want to be either in the very beginning or kind of somewhere in a sweet spot in the middle, because I don't know, dude. I like I said, I like those underdog stories. So like, if I'm able to stay in there for as long as I can, and it's to me, like, it shows like like you have that's how you show all this heart and determination to kind of just keep going. Yeah. And like the end spots are great, yeah, because you gotta win. Higher percentage to win. Yeah, everybody wants to win, of course, yeah. But like at the same time, I like to prove myself as not to like myself mainly all the time. I'm always trying to prove something to myself, but like to everybody else, because I've always been filled a lot of doubts in myself, and people have always had doubts in me with a lot of stuff that I do in all aspects of life. So like anytime I have a chance to prove myself to me and everybody else, I'm always like, all right, you know what? Let's do it. Like, it's a hard thing to do, but let's do it.
Man, that's a great attitude to have. I can't say much more about that. Well, man, as we're winding things down, I got one more for you before I turn it over, and it's not very a tough one, but it's an interesting one. What's on your top 3 podcast list right now?
Top 3? Oh, dude. Well, definitely the first one is Busted Open, man. I like that one a lot.
I agree.
That one's actually real. It's actually really good. I like the different perspectives.
And Bully's my man. I love Bully.
Dude, and Bully Ray's dude is phenomenal, and I like his attitude, and it's good. That, and then that Stone Cold podcast, that was actually really good. It's a different side of Stone Cold that I ever anticipated. Like, I never thought I would see in life.
Okay.
So it's cool, and it is a fun dude, and he's a really fun dude. And then the amount of respect that an old school vet like that has for some of these newer guys is actually really refreshing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it's this way. It's been this way for years. It's tradition. Always do this and that and all. And it's like, I understand it, but at the same time, like, as long as we don't delve away from the basic principles of things, there's always new ways to do things, as long as it's still the same outcome.
Yeah, I got you. I agree, and I think
and he's really open to stuff like that. And you see that in a lot of the stuff that he's doing now. And you're actually able to finally see that, which is cool. And I like it a lot too.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the vets, I think, they're finally opening that door just a little bit, to see that there's another side still with being in that same element, like you said. So, well, with that, man, that's all the questions I have for you today, brother. But before I let you go, like I like to do with all of my guests that I have on, I like to turn the floor over to them. You're welcome to promote whatever you got. Let my listeners know where to find you at and all that good stuff, buddy.
Well, for everybody that don't know, I'm Baylum Lynx. I'm based out here in Denver, Colorado, training at the Al Snow Wrestling Academy, Rocky Mountain, and Rocky Mountain Pro. And 2021 is going to be a very interesting year, and I believe it's going to be a huge bounce back for the entertainment world and for pro wrestling itself as a whole. And I'm just super excited to see how it's going to go, and I just really hope that everybody enjoys everything that's going to come out of this year. And it's going to be, like I said, a huge bounce back for everybody. I'm a very positive person, so that's really all I got to say.
All right, my man. Well, like I said, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you on. I can't wait to get down there and see you in action live instead of on this computer here. But I know that day's coming soon. But until then, man, stay
Hey man,
safe.
when that happens, we're calling you right away.
I bet, man. I can't wait, buddy. I appreciate that. Stay safe. Keep working hard. And for everybody out there, it's Baylum Lynx.